Buzz, welcome back to the channel where we talk about everything happening in the K-pop world, from the biggest stage moments to the most heartfelt fandom stories. And today, we're diving deep into something that has been setting the internet on fire lately. 17's incredible world tour in the USA, and why Billboard just called their stage presence unrivaled. Let's talk about it. Not just the facts, but what makes 17's performance energy so different, so powerful, and why they continue to redefine what it means to be a K-pop group performing on the global stage. So first, let's get the news out there. On October 31st, 17 officially wrapped up their 17 World Tour New in USA with their final concert at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. Over the past 3 weeks, they've performed 9 concerts in 5 major cities: Tacoma, Los Angeles, Austin, Sunrise, and finally D.C. 9 concerts, 5 cities, 3 hours per show, and 30 songs in each performance. That's not just a concert tour, that's a full-on musical marathon. But what's crazy is that even after performing for hours, their energy never dropped. If you've seen fan cams or TikToks from these shows, you'll notice how every member gives 100% every single time. Whether it's Hoshi jumping around with his tiger energy, DK belting notes like his life depends on it, or Woozi commanding the crowd with his quiet power, they make every moment count. Now, Billboard wasn't exaggerating when they said 17's stage presence remains unrivaled. That's a massive statement coming from one of the most respected names in the music industry. And honestly, they're right. I mean, think about it. In a time when so many groups rely heavily on pre-recorded vocals or flashy effects to fill the stage, 17 brings back the old school, pure performance energy. Raw, synchronized, emotional, and alive. It's that combination of perfect choreography, tight harmonies, and genuine connection with the fans that makes them stand out. But let's go deeper. What really sets 17 apart from other groups? I think it's their teamwork. These guys aren't just performers, they're creators. They produce, choreograph, and design their stages. Woozi, for example, plays a massive role in producing their music. Hoshi and the performance team choreograph their routines. That means every show you see isn't just 17 performing, it's 17 presenting their own vision, their own art. And during this US tour, they didn't just perform their biggest hits. They gave fans something truly personal. There were unit stages, where the hip-hop, vocal, and performance teams each had their moments, and even solo performances that showed just how versatile each member is. It's like watching 13 solo artists who just happen to be one group. And here's the best part. The encore song at the final show wasn't pre-planned. They chose it on the spot. That spontaneous, genuine interaction with the audience brought laughter and emotion across the entire arena. It reminded fans that beyond the lights, the fireworks, and the perfect choreography, 17 is still about connection. Speaking of connection, 17's message to fans that night really hit hard. They said, "We are so happy and honored to meet you at this most important time in our lives. Thank you for being a part of our lives." That wasn't just fan service. You could feel the sincerity. And when they added, "Next time we will return as a full 13 members," it was emotional. Because we all know how much the group treasures their bond and how meaningful it is when all 13 members stand together on one stage. Now, let's talk about how the world reacted. The US media didn't just cover this tour, they praised it. Billboard called it a completely new show, full of passion and catharsis. The Hollywood Reporter said the performance was nonstop energy, and that the sincerity of the members made the concert even more special. Bandwagon said 17 is expanding the horizons of K-pop concerts, and Just Jared even called them a turning point that ushered in a new era. That's insane. It's not every day you see Western media praising a K-pop group this consistently and this passionately. It's proof that 17 isn't just following trends. They're setting new standards. Now, I want to pause here and ask you, if you've been to one of their shows or watched the fan cams, what was the moment that gave you chills? The one that made you realize, yeah, this is what a real performer looks like. Because honestly, I think 17 is one of those rare groups that can make a stadium feel like a small, intimate room. Their ability to connect emotionally, that's what creates legends. And speaking of legendary, let's not forget their achievements outside the tour. 17's fifth full-length album, Happy Birthday, debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. That's not just a chart position, that's a statement. A K-pop group, self-produced, with a tight-knit team dynamic, standing shoulder to shoulder with the biggest names in global pop. It shows how far they've come, from their humble Adore You days to becoming one of the most respected live acts in the world. Then there's S.Coups and Mingyu's unit album, Hype Vibes. That one broke the record for the highest-ranking K-pop unit album on the same chart. It proves that even as individuals, the members are thriving. Each one of them shines, but together, they're unstoppable. And it's not over yet. 17 is continuing their world tour with upcoming shows at the Vantolin Dome Nagoya later this month. So, for Japanese CARATs, get ready, because the boys are coming in strong. Now let's get into something that's been on my mind, and I want to hear your thoughts too. Do you think 17 gets enough recognition for their artistry in the mainstream global music scene? Because while Billboard and Hollywood Reporter clearly see their brilliance, I feel like the general Western audience still doesn't realize how much creative control and talent this group actually has. They're not manufactured idols, they're craftsmen. Every lyric, every movement, every beat is thought through. And in an industry where that's rare, it deserves more spotlight. Here's another thing. 17's concept of teamwork is something that modern music groups, even outside K-pop, could learn from. 13 members means 13 personalities, 13 creative directions, 13 opinions, yet they find harmony in that chaos. Watching them perform feels like watching a living organism, every part moving in sync, breathing together, reacting together. It's beautiful. I think that's why their fandom, CARATs, is so loyal and emotionally connected. Because 17 gives everything on stage, and in return, fans give their hearts. You can feel that energy exchange in every video clip. The screams, the tears, the laughter, it's mutual love. And honestly, seeing Billboard and other big names acknowledge that is such a proud moment for K-pop fans everywhere. Because we've seen the journey from smaller venues to arenas filled with tens of thousands of fans singing every lyric in Korean. That's growth, but it's also proof that authenticity travels farther than hype. I want to say this too. Sometimes people outside the fandom think unrivaled stage presence just means dancing well or having good visuals. But in 17's case, it's more than that. Their stage presence comes from trust. Trust in each other, trust in their fans, and trust in the music they create. When they perform, it's not just choreography, it's storytelling. You can see it in the way they look at each other, in the way they hype the crowd, and in how they end every show with genuine gratitude. If you've ever watched their concerts, you know that every transition feels seamless. Every movement is intentional, and the way they switch from hard-hitting songs like Hot or Super to emotional moments like Together or To You, it's cinematic. You feel like you've been on a journey with them, not just watching a performance. And I think that's why their retention, both on stage and in the fandom, is so strong. They don't just give you a show, they give you memories. So yeah, Billboard nailed it. 17's stage presence is unrivaled. But it's not just about the energy, it's about the emotion behind that energy. The sincerity that makes fans feel seen. The dedication that turns casual listeners into lifelong CARATs. As they continue their world tour, I can't help but feel that we're witnessing one of those rare moments in music history, when a group isn't just popular, but important. They're shaping the future of live performance, not just for K-pop, but for music in general. So here's my question to you. After hearing all of this, what do you think makes 17 so powerful on stage? Is it the synchronization, the sincerity, or maybe that sense of brotherhood that ties them together? Let's talk about it in the comments, because I want to know what you feel when you watch them perform. All right, Buzz family, that's all for today's deep dive into 17's US tour and Billboard's praise. If you love content that goes beyond the headlines and digs into the heart of K-pop storytelling, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss what's next on Annyeong Buzz. Until next time, keep the buzz alive, and I'll see you in the next video. Annyeong!